Mabuhay! This is your English teacher, Sir Tristan Boy of Bonfal National High School. Our lesson today is using multimedia resources in communication situations. As we go through with our lesson, kindly be ready with your learning activity sheet, which is your reference to the discussion presented in this video lesson. As well, please have with you the provided answer sheet where you will accomplish the different tasks or activities. You are going to submit it later through Messenger. Please do not forget to write your name and your section. Before we proceed any further, let us have the opening prayer. Please say the prayer with me.
Let us pray. Our loving Father, we praise and glorify your name each day. We thank you for all the blessings, especially the gift of life you showered us. Thank you for giving us the opportunity to learn in this time of global pandemic. Bless our classmates, teachers, and school that we may bring hope to our community. We humbly ask for your forgiveness to all our shortcomings and help us to be a better person. Grant us wisdom, peace of mind, and a pure heart to be a blessing to other people. Father, we are grateful that you are true to your word, that you are with us and will not leave us. May you continue to bless us with your grace and love. We ask all this through Christ our Lord, who lives and reigns forever and ever. Amen.
At this point, may I remind you of our Be Safe rules. Build respect towards your modules. Exert extra effort in accomplishing your tasks. Stay hydrated and energized. Always sanitize your hands before and after touching anything. Face mask must be worn at all times when in public places. And E, establish a 6-foot distance from each other. Right now, I would like to share to you an inspiring quotation of Oogway from the film Kung Fu Panda. Let's watch the video together.
Maybe I should just quit and go back to making noodles.
Quit, don't quit. Noodles, don't noodles. You are too concerned with what was and what will be. There's a saying, yesterday is history, tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That is why it is called the present.
I hope that what Oogway said to Po will inspire you to become a stronger individual and appreciate the gift of life every day. As I mentioned earlier, our lesson is using multimedia resources in communication situations. It is based on the most essential learning competency for Quarter 3, Week 1, which states, use correct and appropriate multimedia resources when orally giving information, instructions, making explanations, and narrating events in factual and personal recounts. This lesson is found on pages 1 to 12 of your learning activity sheet. Our lesson is not only important in your English subject but also to the rest of your academic subjects in school. Your teacher would usually ask you to prepare a presentation, or as you term it, reporting in front of the class as an output. It could be an individual project or by group. For example, in your MAPE subject, you may be tasked to present the different festivals in the Philippines. How will you create a report that will be interesting to your audience or classmates? In TLE, how will you make a great report about safety and cleanliness in the kitchen? What are you going to include to make the report? Audios, videos, or pictures? Well, in this lesson, you are going to learn the different factors that would make up an excellent and updated presentation.
As we go through with our lesson, please be guided by this flow. First part, we discuss prepositions. This grammar lesson will help you construct sentences correctly in making your report or presentation. Second part, we will tackle communication situations. Communication situations will help identify the purpose of your report. Are you going to inform? Or perhaps make an explanation? Third part, we have to learn multimedia resources. As 21st century learners, you need to be aware of the different multimedia resources which will absolutely make your presentation more interesting and reliable. Let us start with prepositions.
Prepositions are words which begin prepositional phrases. They show the relationship of a word, a noun or a pronoun after the preposition, to another word in a sentence. Prepositions are used to show place, direction, time, or spatial relationships within the sentence. Next, we have the most commonly used prepositions, and they are at, on, in, of, to, from, about, with, after, below, over, between, during, through, and against. They are used in prepositional phrases such as at the counter, on Monday, in the kitchen, after the contest, during the break, and so on. The first kind of preposition is prepositions of place or location. These prepositions are used to refer to a place where something or someone is located. First, we have the preposition at. In telling the exact addresses, we use at when we start the address with the house number. For example, Anthony Reyes lives at number 5 Mangabat Street, Barangay Bonfal Proper, Bayombong, Nueva Vizcaya. Also, the preposition at indicates an exact position of an object or person. Example, Aling Marites was at school yesterday to get her child's modules for quarter 3. Take note that at school means physically and literally at the exact location, whereas in school means the person is studying in general. Let's discuss this further. If the sentence goes this way, Anthony is still in school, it means that Anthony is still a student like you are. Whereas, when we say Anthony is still at school, means that Anthony still hasn't come back home from school today. The next preposition of place or location is on. In telling the addresses, we use on when we start the address with the name of the street, avenue, or boulevard. For example, Leia lives on Mangabat Street, Barangay Bonfal Proper, Bayambong, Nueva Vizcaya. Or, Ana lives on Dumlao Boulevard, Barangay Salvacion, Bayambong, Nueva Vizcaya. The preposition on is also used to describe a surface. An example for this, I found my cell phone on the table, meaning the cell phone was on the surface of the table. The third preposition is in. In telling the addresses, we use in when we start the address with the name of the barangay, or even just starting it with the municipality or province or the country, as long as it does not provide the exact location, unlike the use of the preposition at. For example, Anthony Reyes lives in Barangay Bonfal Proper, Bayambong, Nueva Vizcaya. The preposition in is followed by the name of the barangay. Another one, I live in Bayambong, Nueva Vizcaya. Another function of in is that it is used to describe an enclosed space. An example for this, the pen is in the bag. The position of the pen is inside the bag. We now proceed with prepositions of direction or movement. The first preposition is to. It is used to show movement in a specific direction. Example, Carla goes to the market to buy fresh vegetables. Please do not say Carla goes at the market. Rather, Carla is at the market if we refer that the location of Carla is at the market. Carla goes to the market indicates a direction and not a location. Next, we have across. This preposition is used to indicate movement from one side to the opposite side. For example, children walk across the street. The third one is around. It is used to show movement or direction in a circle, in or along a curving path. For example, Paul walks around the park. Then we have the preposition into. It is used to indicate direction of going inside of, to enter. Example, we moved into the library to review. Next, we have onto. This preposition is used to show direction of going on the surface. For example, the kittens jumped onto the sofa. One more preposition under direction or movement, we have the word through. This preposition is used to indicate movement across something from one side of it to the other. For example, the vehicle is moving through a tunnel. Please note that prepositions of location describe a stationary or final position of an object or person, whereas prepositions of direction or movement show direction. We now discuss prepositions of time. First up is the preposition at. It is used in telling the specific time of the clock. Example: the English online class of Ben starts at 8 o'clock in the morning and ends at 9:45 a.m. Next, it is used to state a certain point in time. Example: she goes home at noon for her lunch break. The next preposition is on. It is used in telling the days and dates. For example, Maria will celebrate her birthday on Tuesday. Another example is Lolita was born on July 5, 2007. Or you could just say Lolita was born on July 5. Let's have the preposition in. It is used in telling non-specific time in a day. Example number 1. He waters the plants in the morning. Example number 2. Peter delivers the products in the afternoon. Also, the preposition in is used in telling non-specific dates, a month or year. The examples are Harold enrolled in August last year. Next, we have they won the championship in 2017. Next, we have prepositions of transportation. The first one is the preposition by and should not be followed by the articles a, an, the. Then you have to add the object. It is used when it is directly followed by the vehicle like by car, by boat, by bus. An example for this is he needs to travel by car. The preposition by is also used if it is directly followed by the medium of transportation like by air, by sea, by land, by rail. Example: Mercy later reached her destination by sea. Number 2 preposition is in, followed by the articles a, an, the, plus you have to add the object. It is used when the vehicle is enclosed and it is too small for the passenger to stand or walk inside. For example, I ride in a car when I go to the city. Next, we have the preposition on, followed by the articles a, an, the. It is used when the passenger can sit on or stand on to ride, just like on a bicycle, on a motorcycle, on a horse, on a skateboard. For example, my neighbors love to ride on a bicycle during Saturdays. Another one, the preposition on is used when you can stand or walk inside, like on a plane, on a bus, on a train, where you can walk inside, unlike in the car. For example, the manager rides on a bus every day. Lastly, we have the prepositions of possession. First in the list is the preposition of. It is used to express that something or someone belongs to a person, animal, or thing. For example, Nelia is the daughter of the mayor. Or, I love the style of his shoes. Next, we have the preposition with. It is used in showing that something or someone has this or that. An example is, the girl with a long hair is my cousin. You can pronounce the word as with or with. Soft and hard th sound in the word are both accepted. And that ends the first part of our discussion. Let us check whether you learned something. You are going to answer activity 1, use it to win it. This is found on page 4 of your learning activity sheet. For the directions, identify the letter of the correct prepositions to be used in the sentences. Use your answer sheet to write the letter of the correct answer. You will be given 2 minutes to accomplish this task. You may now start. It's time to check your own work. The answers are: number 1, letter C. The lady with the red and black stripes bag donated boxes of face shields and masks to the school. Number 2, letter B. My school teacher lives at number 75 Sebastian Street, Barangay Commonwealth, Santiago City. Number 3, A. Parents and guardians must attend the meeting at 2 o'clock this afternoon. Number 4, B. Leo was born in June 2010. And number 5, letter A. Students are not allowed to stay at school because of the COVID-19. Kindly write your score beside your answers. A short reminder, after this video lesson, please answer activity 2, look into it, found on page 5. Use your answer sheet for this part as well.
I like it, I love it, I want some more of it.
For your guide, we just have learned the first lesson, which is prepositions. Up next is communication situations and multimedia resources. Please check it out. We now proceed to the second part, which is communication situations. Number 1, giving information. Giving information means giving facts or details with accuracy. The information should address confusions or problems. It must be useful, relevant, up-to-date, and reliable. When giving information, take into considerations the language to be used in order for the facts or details to be easily understood. If needed, you may include charts, diagrams, pictures, and other form of visual materials to provide a clearer information. Giving information is presenting facts or details in an objective manner, thus providing a chance to correct any wrong ideas or myths. Next is giving instructions. Instructions or directions provide steps to be followed in order to achieve the result outcome. Instructions can be found anywhere, from recipes to manuals of a new gadget or appliance, or even assembling a piece of furniture. The sentences are in the imperative form, which need to be followed correctly. Transition words such as firstly, secondly, then, next, finally, can be used to provide a smooth step-by-step procedure. The language should be clear and exact in order to give meaningful instructions. Then we have making explanations. When making explanations, complex ideas should be made plain or simple. The primary use of this is to supply information or additional details in order to comprehensively provide a simplified construction of the idea being presented or asked. The outcome of the explanation should give others a simpler or easier way in interpreting or doing the ideas or thoughts. It should help them grasp the knowledge without any hesitations or doubts. The questions why and how are basically answered in making explanations. Lastly, we have narrating events. There are two kinds under narrating events. The first one is personal recount. Personal recount is the retelling of important events that occurred in the past where the writer or speaker has personally experienced. It could be written or spoken, which may be read, listened, or watched by others through different means of communication. Types of personal recount differ from the experiences which could identify the purpose of the article. It can be funny or serious, uplifting or saddening, or even just entertaining or perhaps inspiring. The structure needs to be in chronological order to attain a smooth transition of events and uses the first-person personal pronouns I and we. We also have factual recount under narrating events. Factual recount gives details of essential events or activities that happened in the past where the writer did not personally experience or was not involved at all. It records based on what really transpired. It can be historical texts, police reports, news, biographies, among others. The purpose may be to inform or to entertain. The written articles may be published in print or broadcast on multimedia platforms. It follows the transition of events in order from the beginning to end. This recount uses the third person personal pronouns he, she, it, and they. At this point, we have to answer Activity 3, Practice and Excel. This is found in your learning activity sheets, pages 7 to 9. For the directions, read the following passages and identify the purposes. It could be giving information, giving instructions, making explanations, factual recount, or personal recount. Write your answers in your answer sheet. The first one, the title, Correct Method of Cooking Instant Noodles. Boil the dried noodle, usually comes in a block, in a pot with enough water. Once water boils, dried noodle will start to soften. You may use a fork or pair of chopsticks to help loosen up the noodles quicker. Drain noodles with a sieve or strainer and discard the water which contains wax. Boil another pot of water. Once water boils, return the blanched noodles to boil for 1 to 2 minutes or until it's al dente. Don't overcook or it will be too soggy to taste. Heat off. Only at this stage, once the heat is turned off, immediately empty the seasoning powder sachet in the pot. Give it a quick stir to combine. Cover pot with the lid to let the remaining heat to continue simmer for another 30 seconds. You may serve your noodle soup now. Eat it hot. What was the communication situation presented? The answer is giving instructions. Please check your paper if you got it correct. Next is the title, A Bad Way of Boiling Noodles. Normally, how one cooks the instant noodles is to put the noodles into a boiling pot of water, mix in the powder ingredient, and let it cook for approximately 3 minutes. Then, it's ready to chow down on. This is the incorrect method of cooking the instant noodles. By doing this, one actually boils the ingredients in the powder that are usually combined with MSG. It will then change the minute structure of the MSG. This in turn causes it to become very toxic. The other thing that one may want to realize is that the noodles are covered with a wax coating. It will take around 4 to 5 days for the body to digest the wax after one has eaten the fresh noodles. What was the communication situation presented? The answer is making explanation. Please check your paper if you got it correct. Then we have number 3. The title, COVID-19 spreads primarily from person to person. This can be via droplets released when people sick with the new coronavirus cough or sneeze. It can also spread when you're in close contact with someone who's sick. Example, when you hug or shake hands. As with other respiratory infections like the flu or the common cold, public health measures are critical to slow the spread of illnesses. Public health measures are everyday preventive actions that include staying home when sick, covering mouth and nose with flexed elbow or tissue when coughing or sneezing, dispose of used tissue immediately, washing hands often with soap and water, and cleaning frequently touched surfaces and objects. What was the communication situation presented? The answer is giving information. Please check your paper if you got it correct. Let us have number 4. This is without a title. Last week, our class planted some bean seeds in ice cream cups. We watered the seeds. After that, we placed the cups on the windowsill in the sun. About 5 days later, we observed that some of the seeds were beginning to germinate. A few days later, the plants had started to sprout leaves. By the end of the week, they were about 7 centimeters tall. What was the communication situation presented? The answer is personal recount. Please check your paper if you got it correct. And the last, number 5, the title is Children's Day. On Children's Day in 1999, a technology company treated more than 200 underprivileged children to a high-tech experience. They were given training on information technology. The company wanted to provide opportunities for these children to learn more about the internet and the latest technology. They wanted to help the less fortunate in the community. The children had an enjoyable and educational experience that day. They were exposed to the new technology for the first time and they were very interested. What was the communication situation presented? The answer is factual recount. Please check your answer if you got it correct. Tally your score and write it beside your answers.
I like it, I love it, I want some more of it.
For your guide, we are already done with prepositions and we have just finished communication situations. Coming up next is our lesson on multimedia resources. Please check it out. We now proceed to the last part, which is multimedia resources. It refers to the materials found in the internet through the use of computers, cell phones, or tablets. The contents of the materials may be a combination of any of the following elements: texts, pictures, graphs, sound, and video. Let us learn the types of multimedia resources. The first one is text. Text is the outcome of writing or encoding ideas into words to form sentences to make up paragraphs. It could also be words to lines to form stanzas. Text can be a way to transmit or communicate messages behind the letters combined together. Text can be presented through different formats like Microsoft Document, PDF, Publisher, among others. Let us have the second one: pictures, clip art, and images. These resources are important in helping enhance the messages or ideas to be transmitted. They show the viewer or reader the captured moment or scene, which is essential to further develop the idea intended to be shared. These resources appeal to the sense of sight. The format may be as JPEG, PNG, or TIFF. The resolution of pictures can be high, where small details are visible, or low, which often become pixelated when stretched. The third one: audio files or sounds, audio, and music. Audio materials appeal to the sense of hearing. These are recordings of voices and sounds which could be used in delivering or transmitting messages in presentations. Audio files can enhance presentations because it appeals to the sense of hearing. Number 4. Video. Video records movements or stillness of real people, animals, inanimate objects, environment with the sounds around, which both share in sharing the intended meaning of the video. Some videos may use closed captions or subtitles to suit the expected viewer. Videos can be clips, movies, music videos, online and TV programs, vlogs, and many more. And the last type, we have GIFs and other forms of animation. These resources created to show movements from drawings and illustrations. They can depict various meanings based on the intended message of GIFs and other forms of animation. Multimedia resources help learners like you prepare assignments or tasks. These resources can be used in making a PowerPoint presentation or other applications, a video output, audio recording project, and even just a written output with images or pictures. These resources are always available on the internet. The enumerated multimedia resources can help someone to give information, instructions, make explanations, narrate events in a more understandable and exciting ways. After this video lesson, kindly accomplish Activity 4. Choose the right thing found on pages 10 to 11 of your learning activity sheet. Use your answer sheet for this together with Activity 2, look into it. That ends our lesson for Quarter 3, Week 1, using multimedia resources in communication situations. You are now equipped with the necessary knowledge in making a great presentation. For your final output, make a presentation or report about tourist destinations in the province of Nueva Vizcaya. You can use a PowerPoint presentation or any similar application. Use prepositions correctly. And you can follow this guide. Number 1. Short history of Nueva Vizcaya. Number 2. Culture and lifestyle of Novo Vizcayanos, which include language, food, customs and traditions, and products. Number 3. Geographical description. Number 4. Municipalities and their tourist spots. And number 5. Means of transportation and the accommodations for tourists.
A friendly reminder, please don't forget to acknowledge your resources in order to avoid plagiarism. Give credits to the owners of the multimedia resources you are going to use.
That's it for our video lesson. This has been your English teacher, Sir Tristan Boy of Bonfol National High School. Thank you very much for watching. Till next time, and keep safe.